and good afternoon to everyone who's joining us at Thai DC Capital GovCon 2020. I'm very pleased that you're here. We are at the last session of day one. My name is Juhi Nathani. I am Thai DC board member, also Assistant Director for International Business Investment at Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. I'm very pleased to be here. I have been absolutely inundated with all the information that we've got in the amazing sessions that we heard earlier today. Absolutely fantastic keynotes, starting with Keith Bluestein, ending with Sandy Carter. But I promise you, we have saved the best for last. So here's what I recommend. For the next 45 minutes, turn off or close that browser window that you have with the election results. Okay, there's going to be some time till we know. So put that away, sit back, relax with a cup of coffee, but you want to be in front of your screen because we have some amazing new technologies from startups that we want to share with you. So we heard a lot about emerging technologies today already, right? And what we're seeing that is happening in the government, and this was from the horse's mouth, you heard a few government agency people talking today, that the government is also looking for new and innovative technology. And those often come from startups. So in our session, we are going to hear from startups about what cool new technological innovations they have to share for the government. And they run the whole gamut. You will see blockchain, you will see cybersecurity, you will see hardware, you will see how to take care of emotional welfare for your employees, you will see data science, you will see artificial intelligence. So I, for one, cannot wait for the session. I have 6 different companies. I will introduce them to you one by one. You saw a brief view of them in the intro slide. But we are really going to cover the gamut of software and hardware. The one thing that's common underlying these companies is that they all have a solution for the government. So I am really hoping that those government agency folks are there because they're going to be very, very amazed by what they see. So what I'm going to do, just to run through the session with you, we're going to have all 6 companies have prepared 2-minute videos for your enjoyment. We're going to play the video, and then I'm going to have the representative from the company come on and just introduce themselves and have a bit of a Q&A. But we will save the larger, broader group Q&A for the end of the session when all the companies kind of come on our virtual stage, and you will have the opportunity to ask them questions. So as long as we're good with that, I am going to start with our technology showcase.
Rod Joseph, President CEO, DQ Labs. We are heading into a big future full of lots of data. Data that is created from different locations and stored different places, and accessed quite often, with becoming irrelevant even faster. While all this is happening, still we are challenged with data quality issues, data preparation needs, and dealing with poor reporting and analytics. Further, we have difference in opinion of what data quality, data governance means, and creates a lack of consensus among government organizations, resulting in using lots and lots of different tools, methodologies, process, workflows, ETLs, implementation within a high cost. The end result, we are not able to leverage data for community planning, citizen outreach engagement, or addressing any concerns, including concerns related to high-risk population. It's going to be even more infuriated with the increase in data. We are unable to find what information is valuable and what is best left ignored. That's why we went and created DQ Labs, an augmented data management platform with the ability to connect to any data, catalog, and automatically understand the data quality of every element within your data sources and clean the data and creating master data management for your citizens model with 100% compliance and data governance. The city of Spokane in Washington was struggling to implement, to connect with data, understand the quality, and data prepare for reporting and analytics. With DQ Labs, we were able to implement in faster timeline and connect with all different disparate data sources and further decrease approximately 50% in cost and result in 80% decrease in duplicate. Thank you.
Fantastic. So that was DQ Labs, and I'm very pleased to have with me today Raj Joseph, who is representing this AI company. And I hope you enjoyed that video, Raj. Very quickly, a couple words about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Jugi, for the opportunity. Myself, Raj Joseph, President, DQ Labs. I have almost like 2 decades of experience in data science solutions, helping private and government organizations to leverage in different ways possible.
Thanks, Raj. So I saw towards the end of the video, you had a use case with the city of Spokane. And I was wondering if you had any information to share on revenue savings or generation that it led to for the city.
Yeah, I think the city has been struggling for quite a number of years, trying different traditional ways like ETLs or any data warehouse solutions. And the cost factors, just to give you some comparisons, it would have costed almost like a million and a half if they went through the traditional ways of implementation. With DQ Labs, they were able to do it with 250 to 300K. So that's almost 5 times lesser than what they had planned. Not only that, since we are using AI and other stuff, it was able to get a return on investment much faster in days and months versus years and years of projects. So that was a big, significant cost saving, plus also something to the market too.
Sure, that's great. That's wonderful. And I hope other cities and jurisdictions are listening as well. Earlier today, we had a session where we had someone from the US Census Bureau. And, this is a census year. So that's a huge amount of data that is being collected. Do you see DQ Labs playing a role there?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially with census and very manually collected data and human reported data, there is a big amount of data quality issues. I mean, even sometimes I write my name Raj versus full name, and sometimes I switch last name, first names. All those issues are prone to happen. So for census, I think a automated AI-based data preparation layer and also allowing to understand how much of this quality is there within those data sets will definitely help census administration plus other government organizations which are dealing with data quality issues and data preparation layers.
Absolutely, I see that easily. And I have quite a few more questions, but I'm going to stop here right now. And what I want to do is move over to the next company. But I will encourage our audience members, please start posting your questions on the session Q&A right now. So please put your questions for DQ Labs in there. We will have an opportunity to go through your questions, but only at the very end of this program. So let me get out of your way and let's look at the next company.
Good afternoon. My name is Jaden Risner, CEO and co-founder of Family Proud. Family Proud is a software platform that supports families and enhances their care. Family Proud addresses the problem of remote family support and adversity management for families within an organization. It provides value to the organization through organic engagement, as well as direct value to the family and their support network with impacts to mental health and community engagement. We're an SBIR recipient and proud service disabled and minority-owned business. Several years ago, I was deployed to the Navy and my mother had a heart attack, and I was faced with the burdens of remote support and care. I've been an informal caregiver to my mother now for about 5 years. Our team is made up of Naval Academy and Stanford GSB graduates, cancer survivors, and military veterans, But most importantly, we all have experiences as caregivers, patients, and supporters and understand what it means to deliver empathy through technology. Family Proud Solution provides a peer-to-peer aspect that allows families within an organization to connect to one another and truly talk to someone who understands what they're going through in a private and secure network. Virtual experiences that addresses social isolation and loneliness for those within an organization or impacted by remote support. And our smart technology provides recommended tasks and care registry to help families navigate that care, and also, most importantly, how to support one another within an organization. There's no greater time than now to support families in need, and Family Proud can support organizations with a private and secure platform to engage their families, provide them a way to connect to one another, support each other, address adversity management, as well as mental health issues, certainly very relevant right now. We look forward to supporting your families. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Quite a switching of gears there. We went from looking at massive amounts of data to looking at something that is so important and oftentimes overlooked by companies, and that is our emotional quotient, right? So Jaden, welcome to the stage. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, and great to connect with everyone. My background, Navy veteran, Naval Academy, MBA, personal touch points, as mentioned in the video, and proud CEO and co-founder of Family Proud, which is a service-disabled minority-owned company.
Fantastic. And what I liked about your program, or what I gathered from the video and your website, is that the solution caters to different entities that are involved in this process of developing or measuring or taking care of the emotional wellness of the group, right? So I can especially relate with the caregiver aspects because I have been one, and sometimes you're at a loss. You don't know what tools you have, let alone how to use them, in order to support yourself. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the empowering thing to remember, family is not just those you're related to, it's community, organization, company, and the ability to empower an organization to have that network to connect families to one another, to your point, to those who truly understand, is extremely critical in a care journey, whether it's the support network, whether it's the patient themselves going through it. And not all families or individuals have strong support networks. So the ability to provide them the remote support aspect and organization, there is actually a data side to it as well, where independent of clinical, the ability to focus on family and community, and when we talk about underserved communities, the ability to identify at-risk variables within organizations, specifically focused in family community, are certainly very powerful, and doing it through an organic engagement way that's providing value to the family and to the organization.
Oh, absolutely. But then bottom line is we are here for the government. So I want to know from you where governments can see the application of this particular solution.
Absolutely. So for us, SBIR recipient through the Air Force, so demonstrating feasibility through Air Force families, we recognize on the DoD side, specifically within organizations, when you look at family, culture, inclusivity, the ability to have a platform that provides engagement within the families of an organization, whether it's a specific government organization or entity, the more you have in common with someone, the more likely you are to support them, and the ability to connect, for example, cancer survivors or patients within an organization, or families that are going through specific adversity, providing tangible support opportunities within an organization is exactly what the value that Family Proud provides.
Absolutely. And in terms of community, you look at DoD, there are tremendous applications there for the well-being of people who serve. Thank you for that, Jaden. All right, folks. So I'm really enjoying the mix here. We have all kinds of companies that are bringing their unique solutions to us, and we're going to move on to the next company. Bear with me a moment.
Simplifying security and compliances is what coverage is all about. a defensive security mechanism tool to secure your IT infrastructure. Designed and developed by the team at Systech, which has 100 plus man years of experience in network and security. To cater to the North American market, Systech established operations in Jan 2019 to provide services and solutions for the North American market at Reston in Fairfax County. Kavach is built on a bare metal infrastructure with hyperconverged platform and has all the essential enterprise level applications, which is your email, web controls, secure messaging, AAA, authentication, authorization and accounting, secure file share and storage, room for integration of user-defined applications, all of these tightly secured with multiple layers of security. The icing on the cake is the compliance management module, which aims to give the infrastructure compliance standpoint on a click of a button. The tool is fully managed and monitored. This provides 90% of IT in one stack, hybrid cloud scalability, continuous monitoring, continuous security, continuous compliance, automated management, and it is hardware agnostic. Value proposition is definitely the value innovation way of looking at simplifying IT and security to SMEs using latest technologies like hyperconvergence. All-in-one infrastructure stack, zero IT team needed by customers due to central monitoring and management, 40% reduction in IT ROI in 2 years, improved uptime 98% even for SMEs.
Okay, so that's a language I know well, cybersecurity, and that's from being part of Fairfax County. We have a humongous cybersecurity cluster right here in the county, over 500 companies providing all kinds of solutions. So naturally, my question to you would be about how you're different. But let's start with an introduction. Rashmi, please.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Rashmi and I represent Systech. We're passionate towards solving your IT problems while you're focusing on getting your big picture and working on your big aims of your company and your business.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Rashmi. So going back to my question, what makes Kavach different in terms of what's available out there with regard to information security or network security?
First and foremost, Kavach is, what's different about Kavach is first and foremost, because it's hyperconverged platform, the ease of use for the user or the admin at IT, I think that is what is different. Secondly, it's highly scalable. We all want to grow. We all look at the big picture. So we support in IT being supportive to your business. And third and most important feature is the cost effectiveness. And that is what are the three key differentiators. To add it all, product efficiency, which we are working regularly to improve the product efficiency. I think these are the four things that I would like to highlight here.
Okay, great. And of course, I think I know the answer to it, but I want to hear from you. Where does that name come from, Kavach?
Kavach is very much an Indian name, and Kavach actually means armor because we follow defensive security and not offensive security. And that's why the name Kavach. It's an armor. We're protecting you.
Absolutely. And we all need some protection every now and then.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
We secure you.
Yes. Protect us and secure us. Thank you very much, Rashmi. I will get back to you. I do have lots of burning questions on cybersecurity, but I'd like to get started with the next company for now. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My name is Mark Davidson, Chief Revenue Officer for DreamView. I am proud and excited to showcase our omnidirectional 3D vision systems. At DreamView, we have created vision systems that can see an entire 360-degree space from floor to ceiling from a single vantage point, indoors or outdoors. And because our cameras provide binocular vision, we accurately provide depth and distance information. The most prolific use cases include counting people and measuring the space between them for social distancing, people detection and UV disinfection, security and asset tracking, and of course, robot navigation. On behalf of DreamView, thank you to TIDC for this opportunity, and I look forward to engaging with customers in attendance. Here is a brief video to highlight social distancing and people flow.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mark. So like I said, we do have hardware in the mix there, and I am super excited to learn more about DreamView. Mark, please introduce yourself.
Sure, thanks, Julie. Mark Davidson, Chief Revenue Officer from DreamView. I've been a Silicon Valley, back to the East Coast, hardware embedded systems technology guy for a long time. Very excited to be part of DreamView, a young company with amazing technology and great applicability into the space.
As we just saw, and I take it that the unique part there is the 360 and 3D, right, combined into one. So give us a sense of how that compares to either 362D or 3D and not 360.
Yeah, that's a great question, because those are the two traditional choices. And if we think about 3D in a narrow field camera, now what we do is we have to take these multiple narrow field cameras and try to figure out how to stitch them together, and which consumes a lot of compute, a lot of valuable resource. The alternative is we take a 2D camera and we have to now try to estimate depth. In either case, you're trying to create something that isn't natively there. What we've done is we've put those two together. So without the use of any advanced algorithms, you get a complete 360-degree view of something with accurate depth, and that comes natively from the camera.
Okay, great. And I saw that the equipment itself, or the device, is this tiny little thing. Is it meant for yes, permanently attaching to a stationary place, like on the wall, or how do you see it actually completely using its 360 capabilities?
Yeah, for sure, permanently mounted, let's say in a public space, in airports, in train stations, bus stations, et cetera, permanently mounted, keep a monitor for what's going on with people counting, people flow, social distancing, et cetera. The other one is mounted on a mobile robot and designed to move around and be able to move real time and continually update the map, update the whole navigation system. So it can be used in both. It's really about what can benefit from huge field of view and natively having depth information.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And like I have for everyone else, I have other questions for you, but I'd like help from the audience too for that. So we'll be coming back to you. I'm going to move on to the next company.
Thank you.
name is Sri Ramaswamy, and I'm the founder and CEO of Infinilytics. At Infinilytics, we provide cloud-based artificial intelligence solutions to the insurance industry. Our AI-based insights and patterns are derived from both structured and unstructured data. We have pre-trained these insights, leveraging the knowledge and experience from the industry experts from within the team. I myself come from the insurance industry, carrying more than 19 years plus experience in the advanced analytics space. One of my co-founders, John Standish, brings in more than 32 years of law enforcement, insurance investigation, and insurance regulatory experience. He retired as the chief of the fraud division from the California Department of Insurance. Our insights and patterns help the insurance industry improve the process efficiencies, risk selection, and reduce their fraud, waste, and abuse. Our insights and patterns can help predict the severity and frequency of the future losses from within the disaster claims. This can help the Small Business Administration or the SBA deploy their disaster assistance effectively, efficiently, and in a timely manner. It will also help the SBA achieve their 2021 strategic goals and objectives and plan for future disaster losses much more efficiently. Thank you very much. My name is Sri Ramaswamy, and I look forward to working with the SBA in achieving their 2021 strategic goals and objectives.
Thank you, Shri. And can we all agree that you have an absolutely dazzling smile? So thank you for sharing that, first of all. So we know you're Shri and we know your company, and I think I can finally say it, a tongue twister of a name that it is, Infinilytics. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to, if you have anything to add to your name or your company, please do so. Otherwise, I'm going to go right to the first question.
Just to add that, apart from being a minority-owned company, we pride ourselves in bringing together multidisciplinary approach in how we have created our insights platform. And what we have done is using, our expertise within the team who come from the industry. We have built and trained the insights. So a lot of the heavy lifting of, bringing the data together, analyzing it, picking the patterns, the right patterns, all that are resolved, whether it's structured data or unstructured data. So we are very ready to hit the grounds with SBA. Thank you.
Fabulous. And that's, I think, the fourth time I heard the word SBA in your presentation and with you right now. So you're obviously very, very focused on that particular agency. I hope you had a chance to hear the opening keynote this morning with Keith Bluestein. So let's just assume he's in the audience right now. What do you want to say to him?
I'd like to say to him that just, we went to the website and we pulled their data, 2017, 2018 data, and we could very much come to a conclusion of what are the 3 use cases we can, right away start with by leveraging the 2017 disaster data and predicting, the 2018 data. So, in future disasters, they can actually deploy their disaster assistance very efficiently and in a very timely manner, like I just said before. But we can pretty much leverage whatever they have, in their website, 2017 and 2018 disaster data, and we can start right there. And that's how, how much of homework we have already done, in that aspect. So I'd love to kind of point that out. And, the other thing to kind of look at is once you have that predictions, then we can add, a lot more sensitive, anonymized, sensitive and personalized data that SBA, holds, whether it's documents of the companies or the individuals, that they offer these loans to. We can then bring all that data in, and we can also bring the unstructured data based insights that support, how they actually deploy their disaster assistance and to be able to predict. So for the next disaster, they're already very much ready.
Fantastic. That's great. So the trick is actually to know the page number, because that's what Keith said this morning. What page did you find that information in the big document on their website? So you
We
can
know
find
that.
that.
John knows that.
Okay, excellent. But jokes aside, I mean, SBA is but one agency. If you were to look at what your core offering is, can you see applications elsewhere in the government?
At this time, we're very focused on, what we kind of provide with our insights, because we are very much, in tune with risk reduction, risk prediction, and, all of that kind of ties together with what we are trying to do, whether it's a disaster, assistance that SBA is looking at very closely. And, they helped, many companies like us deploy disaster recovery, the loans were deployed very quickly. So, we're kind of tying that to the claims that we are already very good at from the insurance industry perspective. So just to kind of be aligned, we are very much aligned on that space. And we'd like to kind of continue until and unless we start growing and then we start to look at other applications.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We will come back to you, Sri. And here's the final video for today. So I hope you guys are paying attention. Wow, that was a great video, Ajay. Thank you so much for sharing. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you very much, Joey. Thanks for this opportunity. My name is Ajay Jotwani. You can call me AJ. And I'm the CEO and co-founder of I2Chain. As the name suggests, we secure the two most valuable assets, identity and information. The team is, all of us have got more than 20 plus years of experience in cybersecurity. Having said that, prior to I2Chain, I was the vice president of global strategy and product management at IBM. And I was very fortunate to incubate digital workplace services. Now think of I2Chain as secure digital workplace.
Fabulous. That's great. That's lovely to know. One thing that I noticed when I was, just getting introduced to you and looking at your website is that you have something called zero-click technology. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, it's fully automated. The idea behind today, what happens is if you look at any government organization, they have a 200 to 2,000 page document which says, here are the policies. And based on these policies, the employees have to send information. So especially if the documents are classified. And the problem is that in spite of all of this, Edward Snowden happens because he's an authenticated user and he sticks in a flash drive and takes the information out, goes out of the country. And also, emails are being used in private servers like Hillary Clinton in the case. All of this is fully automated, which means the policies are governed by the entity, the agencies, and once the policies are set, it's a zero-click operation where all the policies are enforced across all the users.
Got it.
So
yeah, sorry, please finish.
And so we prevent the next Snowden from happening, or the cousin of next Snowden from happening.
Absolutely. That's great. And it also brings to mind what Sandy Carter said from AWS in her keynote address, that, you know, it's that overlap between artificial intelligence and blockchain and cybersecurity in your case, right? And I see applications in BFSI, I see applications even in real estate, and then hospitals too. But one question that kind of comes to mind is that if you look at current hospital systems, whatever they might be for patient interaction and to hold patient data, they're disparate, right? Is there any kind of integration that your platform offers, or is it in a way agnostic from, you know, the system that the company or the hospital system is using currently?
Great question, Joey. Thank you very much. Look, hospitals deal with a lot of personal healthcare information. Absolutely everything. If in the black market a social security number costs $1, medical information costs $1,000. So that's the scale, right? It's very, very expensive. It's expensive. It's pricey. It's also there are a lot of use cases where the fraud happens. What we do is very simply at the enterprise level, chain the information when the information gets collected by the hospital. So when a patient walks in and there's for example, a clinical summary is made, the clinical summary is automatically chained. Now, this clinical summary goes from one EMR system to another EMR system, say within the hospital or outside the hospital. It travels through networks, through data centers, wherever it goes, the information is secure and privacy compliant. So at the back end, we use a three-step process where the information gets encrypted, the writes get injected, and every action on that information artifact is recorded on an immutable ledger so that it cannot be changed.
Fabulous. That's great. Well, thank you so much, AJ. And I would like to invite all the panelists now to come on stage and join AJ and I. I want to open up the floor for audience questions, and they have been piling in. So guys, get ready. I hope you've been doing your prep in the meantime. Thank you again so much for sharing those cool and new technologies with us. And I'm going to get started with the first question right away. And it is actually for you, Raj. Have you had any interaction to get a sense of what reaction the govies, so to speak, or the government agencies have to your specific tool?
I think the excitement, the reaction is a kind of balanced act between excitement plus also security conscious. Security definitely plays a bigger factor. So some of the data sources we integrated is legal, law enforcement, homeless management information systems, very sensitive data, which needs privacy, security, compliance, and regulatory. So what we have done is just put security as a first thing, but at the same time have a balance act in terms of how we can make this decisioning possible without breaching any of this and keeping in compliance. So we had to go through securities, compliances, and also the hosted solution is hosted in Azure Go, which also gives an additional layer apart from what we do.
Sure. So yeah, you ease their fears a little bit, right?
Yep.
I'm going to move over to Rashmi for a question about Kavach, because it's known that your company is headquartered in India. Do you see that as a challenge when you're presenting your product or your solution to the government? You're muted, please.
Sorry about that. Yes, we do. We do not see it as a challenge, but yes, we definitely, it's a process that we need to go through. We need to try, test it, and then present it to the government. Very true, but it's not impossible.
Sure. Okay, great. And then I have a question for Mark, DreamView. Someone wants to know if you thought of applying your solution to exam proctoring, which I think is a pretty neat idea.
Yeah, it's actually a great idea. And we have a lot of interesting use cases we've considered. And I think one of the things that we'd like to add to our repertoire is some systems integration partners, people that can really kind of think about and implement full solutions. And that's actually one of the connections I was hoping to make today. Those who have great ideas for 3D, 360-degree vision to improve any type of use case.
Absolutely, great. AJ, there's a question for you on the energy consumption for blockchain, and the audience member wants to know if it is on-chain or off-chain application.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we use subset of blockchain technology. We use immutable ledger so that every action that gets recorded is immutable. You cannot change it. I cannot change it. It is an action where agencies can harvest evidence quality forensics. So we are not a blockchain company. We use subset of technology. It's completely SaaS-based. So there's literally zero additional energy. In fact, we are working on a program where can we reduce the carbon emission if you use a system like us the layers of security that could deploy within your enterprise may perhaps be replaced because now you are chaining the information and it remains secure whether at rest or in motion.
I see. Wow, great. I have a question for Jaden. Jaden, you know, the kind of solution that you provide is not top priority oftentimes, and unfortunately so, for corporations or communities alike. Have you any message for people who are, you know, right now not paying attention to this very important solution?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a huge shift. I mean, we always say people come first, families come first when you talk about your actual assets or families and community. And you're seeing a major shift right now, especially with a lot of the telework and remote support in providing a tool for families to support that community. And so how important it is, we're certainly going to see the effects of COVID here moving forward when we talk about social isolation and loneliness, when we talk about the ability to interwork telehealth and telework. So certainly a very relevant time to provide a platform and technology to support existing community.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I'm actually going to ask one final question of Sri in Finalytics. You are based on the West Coast, is that correct?
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, so how do you see yourself? You're so focused on the SBA. How do you see yourself serving them efficiently from Silicon Valley? Because you know what, you should be in Fairfax County, but go on.
We'll certainly be there, you know, as keeping all the social distancing and everything in mind. If there's definitely a need to come out there, we will. And we'll come, you know, at a time when it's safe for everybody and when it's safe for traveling. But I think most of the other things can be pretty much handled because we are cloud-based. We are very securely placed on AWS, and we are SOC 2 compliant as well. So most of the things can be done, you know, pretty much remotely, and most of the data transfers, I'm assuming, can also happen, you know, on the cloud. And if there's a private cloud that SBA has, we can deploy it there. We can also deploy it on our own AWS cloud server. But pretty much, I think, from the work standpoint, we are, you know, we can operate 100% remote. And we'd love to kind of come and see the Fairfax County and visit over there, and visit also the SBA folks when it is safe.
Absolutely, and I look forward to it. Hey guys, I think we are actually out of time, and you may have had more things to share. Audience may have had more questions, but that's all the time we have. We have really got to know each and every one of you, your companies and your solutions. I thank you for your time, for sharing all this information, for, you know, scrambling together with the videos. And I was very demanding on you, I know. So much, much appreciated on behalf of TIE DC, Rashmi, Sri, Jaden, Mark, Raj, and AJ. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to hand over now to Jennifer. Jennifer, all yours.
Thank you.
Okay, go on, Jennifer. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you to all our speakers today. On behalf of the speakers, TIDC will be making a donation for Toys for Tots for this conference. So we really appreciate your time. And we want to make sure you join us tomorrow. We will begin at 10:45 a.m. with another full day of great content, great speakers. So thank you very much.